No, that's not a Chinese phone. Hi, I'm so
What's up?
sorry.
We're back.
My internet. So you know how Airtel will give you that alert saying you've used such and such amount of data?
No, I don't because I don't have it.
Yeah, Vodafone. Okay. So I have Airtel and
It's
it
not
decides to
much
do that.
better.
But it like literally it killed the app just to give me that notification. It just shut
What?
down Instagram. Yeah, it killed the app to give me a notification saying you've used this much data. So I have a feeling it's going to happen again in a little bit.
Oh shit. Okay.
So this one might not be
But you know
good to
what?
read.
I can hear you like super clearly, and it's coming through like pretty well right now. So Airtel, whatever you just did, ठीक है. Yeah, let's just keep
It
doing
might
that.
happen again. Sorry, this might be a bit of a fragmented session because my phone is deciding to throw tantrums. Or maybe it's Pimplish. Pimplish is interfering.
It can't handle 3 presences in one conversation.
Yeah, I knew something
Huh?
was going on.
Yeah.
Damn it.
But
Okay, but
there were a
coming
few
back to
questions
what
that
we were talking
people
about.
put up before. So if you guys want to repost those questions, I remember a couple
Yes,
of them, so we
please.
can get through. There's
Sorry
a
about that.
Charya says, are you using a Chinese phone?
Yeah, that's my friend Acharya, and I am not using a Chinese phone. Okay, but Airtel has decided to be a kebab mein haddi
Right.
and cancel everything.
Hmm.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about we ended at when I said that having a trainer is also good motivation at the end of the day because that's going to push you like
Yes,
towards moving basically. That's what it is.
doing a slight Real Fitness shout out. Shout
Oh
out to
yeah, yeah,
Real
yeah.
Fitness.
Oh yeah. So these guys do like online workouts and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
that's how
that's been
you
pushing me a lot.
right.
Sorry?
No, that's how you work out. That's how you work out with them, right?
Yeah. So I've been doing that, and honestly, I used to dread the idea of like a group class because I did
Mm-hmm.
not want anyone to watch me fall on my face. But now that I've gotten used to it, it's so hard to do it without that classroom
Because you're watching
support.
everyone fall on their
You're
face.
watching exactly. So then there was a week in between when I had signed up for another class that clashed with my workout timings. So I just started working out on my own, and it's like it's not as much fun because like now I
It's
have
not the
friends in
same.
that class and we have like conversations and it's anyways.
You know,
I'm glad I
like
have
we
that
have
class.
this thing where, at the cost of like completely going off topic, uh, so when you're running long distances, this will happen to a lot of anyone who's run, like a race and stuff. When you're running on your own, after a while you kind of tire out because you have your headphones in, and no matter what you're doing, you're just kind of running on your own. But when it comes to race day, usually you don't get sleep before because these races, these marathons, start at like 5 in the morning. So you've slept like 2-3 hours plus your heart is pumping like mad, so you're not well rested and stuff. But because you're running with everybody else, like a herd of people together, that kind of carries you through to the end, and then like the tiredness hits you and everything. But that feeling of everybody, that spirit of everyone pushing each other, it's unbelievable. Like I've had times while running where I felt like crying in the middle of a race just with this overwhelming level of support
So
that's
like
and love
happy
that's
crying.
coming. Yeah, like happy crying. Also crying because I was in a lot of people's hurting like mad. But it was definitely a very happy feeling at that point in time.
Just like completely overwhelmed. Overwhelmed by your
Yeah,
pain, overwhelmed by
absolutely.
the energy, overwhelmed by
Yeah.
the
Because
connections we have with humanity.
exactly, because you feel like everyone's kind of helping you and willing you on, right? So then it doesn't become about just you finishing. You're suddenly thinking, oh shit, now I'm letting down all of these people who are cheering for me and stuff. And plus, those guys have come out of their houses at like 6 and 7 in the morning for no reason, just to hand you one slice of orange in the middle of a race is beautiful. But anyone who has like got a chance to run a race or to do that, like a half marathon or even a 5K or whatever, you have to try it out. It's super fun.
Yeah, I can't run at all. So I will support you in spirit
You
from
can come feed
my
me from the side.
yeah.
You can come feed me from the side, like hand me
No, that
glucose
requires me to
boost.
wake up at 5 a.m., right? I have to be there at this crack of dawn. So I will meet you after to
That's cool. Yeah,
celebrate your accomplishment.
you can go get a beer after that. That's
Yeah,
absolutely fine.
I am that friend. I am that friend, not the orange slice friend, the beer afterwards friend. Welcome to this conversation about fitness. Okay,
Bahar
I
says
have
I
another.
run after men. Good call, man.
Bahar, you and I
Not
are always
Ashley
running
says I
after
run
the same men, darling.
after.
Okay, I have another couple of questions. Can one lose weight
Hmm.
without consuming 1 gram per kg body weight of protein? Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you
End of
probably
story.
will be far. Yeah, yeah. Like there's a science, so there are a lot of these myths that you have to literally have your protein right. Like you put down the barbell or the dumbbell and you have to like chug right after that, and that's bullshit. Um,
He
also,
said with a sweet smile.
it's such bullshit. I love when people come up with these theories, but no, it's that's not the case. And also, you will it's a very counterintuitive thing. Like if you eat more than your body can actually handle and process, then your body's gonna be like, enough. I can't. This is a system overload. I have to get rid of it somehow. So it's gonna put strain on your kidneys and stuff. So honestly, the figure lies. A lot of research recently has shown that the figure lies closer to zero point 0.6 at the max, and that's for people. That's for athletes and stuff. It's not for people who are, you know, who are not pushing themselves every day to such a.
Aadmis.
Aam Aadmi, mango people, yeah, as my friend likes to call
Yes. And this
it.
0.6 you're talking about is 0.6 grams per kg of body weight, right?
Yes, zero point 0.6 grams per kilogram of
Okay.
body weight. No, I'm
Okay.
sorry. No, I'm sorry. It's points. You were the so the general figure that people are told is 1 gram per pound of body weight.
Per
But
pound
it's
of
actually zero point 0.6 per pound. It's closer to
per
that.
pound.
Yeah, per pound. So yeah, so
Such
it's
a
almost
nerd.
like half of. Oh, good old pound system of measuring. Yeah. How much do you
No, I'm
miss
just
that,
saying
by the way?
generally, the fact that you
Uh,
know all this information, like such a nerd.
yeah, yeah. There's been a lot of trial and error, mostly error, but that's how I've come up to figuring out what works and what doesn't work for me.
There was a
Which
question in here
I think
actually.
everybody should do.
There was a question in here that came up a couple of times that asked for
Uh-huh.
recommendations on certifications for nutrition. Have you done any certifications?
I Me no, I haven't like the
Yeah,
what I've done is I've
me
just
neither.
tried and yeah, I've just tried what works for me, what how my body feels, how it processes food. So I learned that I had to like give up meat and I can't eat certain types of food. They don't agree with me. So everybody's
Yeah,
genetic story is different. I mean, if you're looking at using this as a professional stepping stone and becoming like a nutritionist and stuff, I wouldn't be the best person to give you that advice.
yeah,
But
I
if you
don't
just
know
want to
either.
know for yourself, just trial and error, man. Like it's going to look at what you can get that's fresh and seasonal and is local to you because you're mostly adapted to kind of eat and survive on that food, and make
Yeah,
healthy choices within that.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. Honey, you don't need kale if you live in India, okay? You don't have to buy kale from Nature's Basket or whatever. Just eat palak, dude.
Yeah,
Just eat
palak is
palak.
absolutely fine, man. Palak is awesome. Hey,
Okay,
there was a
one more.
question before we started off saying, I mean, we should probably get to this topic at some point in time, but can there was a question saying that is the fit body and the healthy body, like, can someone please drill in that they're not the same thing, which
Yes, yes,
is a topic
yes.
we actually spoken about before, but we probably roll
Yeah.
back to this one as well. And Amit Varghese, who asked the question, said, "No, not for professional use, only for education purposes." Dude, Amit, you should definitely search the internet, man. There's a wealth of knowledge out there. Just know about like what you're eating, where it's coming from. Read the nutrition labels on everything. Get as nerdish as you can about it. And the more you know, the more you figure out, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, how your body's feeling and stuff. So yeah.
Aniruddha is asking if he should eat his protein before or after Old Monk. He'd eat it with the Old Monk, dude. Old Monk and
With the old
kebabs.
monk, is it? Yeah, that
Yeah,
is something I have never actually
peanut
tried.
masala, kebabs.
Kebabs, yeah. Mutton
Put some Old
chops
Monk
if
in
you're
your
into
protein
like,
shake.
yeah. Or
There's
how
many
about
options.
old monk and yeah, old monk in a pre-workout or something would be devastating on your system. But dude, if you have the guts to try that out, please DM me and tell
Let us
me what the hell happens. I would love to know. I don't have the guts to pull that off myself, dude. Anirudh Acharya.
Oh my God. Okay. This is one
Yeah.
that I can talk a lot about, this last question.
Huh.
How do you get back to working out after you take a long break?
Hmm.
I shall begin.
Please begin.
basically, I've taken lots of breaks in between because I've had this recurring shoulder injury. So there's been like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, in between. Then when I had surgery, I was off for like 3 months almost. But Seema Taparia from Mumbai likes you both.
Yes, Seema's
Thank you.
approval is what I want. I want it.
I mean, we're both tall, slim, trim, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, sorry,
I
back
like
to the
Judge
question.
also. Oh, sorry, please go back. Yeah.
Back to the question. Yeah, so basically what I do after a break is that I start really slowly again. Like I don't push myself to do like 5 days a week of like burpees and push-ups and all of that. It's like
Yeah.
I'll start really slow. I'll try to hit like twice a week, 3 times a week, then slowly take it up from there. So, and then even though it feels like you're starting from scratch, your body will remember very quickly. So if you
Yeah.
do that like slowly for maybe 2 weeks, your body will go back to what it was able to do fairly quickly. So you will recover much quicker. What about you? Anything to add there?
Ligament tears and stuff like that, which have been pretty rough. But so in that case, I think what I do is if I'm recovering from an injury, I kind of shift my diet to kind of supplement. I reduce the protein intake that I'm having because I'm not going to be using that much. And I tend to have more anti-inflammatory foods like ginger and haldi. They generally tend to like help you heal faster and stuff. And being very very strict about what you eat, because if you're not working out and expending that energy, you're not going to burn off. Like especially for me, I love to eat, so I tend to overeat rather than undereat. So at that point in time, I get really strict about it because I know that my body is otherwise just going to keep it on. But also then it kind of helps because your body gets a break, and apart from the physical demand that we're putting on the body every time we work out, there's also like a nervous demand that's coming in. So your nerves, what people call overtraining, is nothing but nervous system overload, central nervous system overload. So your nerves need a break as well. So you can use it to your advantage and stuff. But so I remember last year I got like a couple of massive tattoos for which I needed to completely take a break and stuff, because like no training for a couple of weeks after that. But I kept moving to keep the blood flow going. Like just walking around, whatever you can do, touching your toes, just basically keeping the blood flow going without exerting yourself too much. So if you can, even if you're recovering from say like a shoulder injury or surgery and stuff, you can keep the mobility in the rest of your body. That's going to be good for you, because I
Yeah,
know
I
most
mean,
of us become like couch potatoes when we're recovering from anything. But like once in a while to get up and move is always going to help.
yeah, I was really lucky that my surgeon and the physiotherapist were very upfront about the fact that physiotherapy will begin literally the same week as the surgery. So as soon as I came
Yeah.
home, I was like already doing like small exercises with a stress ball and like, practicing a little bit of movement. So they had me getting back to it fairly quickly, which I appreciate now in hindsight,
Yeah.
rather than taking a year to recover. It's been over 6 months, I think 8 months, and now I'm back to working out like 5 days a week. Okay, there's been questions
We have
about intermittent
quite a few questions
fasting
coming in.
and
Okay,
keto.
intermittent fasting. Yeah.
Somebody talked about keto
Okay,
earlier.
so we've views on the ketogenic diet. Do you want to take this one? I mean, you've tried the ketogenic diet, right?
If trying it for 4 days counts as trying it, then I have tried it. But like
Yeah.
after a week, I could not, man. I can't. Like, just the amount of fat that you need to consume to make keto work is,
Yeah.
it feels unbearable to me personally. I mean, the protein I can manage, but the fat is what's really difficult to accumulate over the course of your eating during a day. So I tried it for 5 days. I really hated it, and I immediately went back to doing like, I can do low carb, but as long as I can include like vegetable fiber and fruit and like dairy, I'm okay with that. But
Yeah.
this whole like, you can't even eat carrots on keto, dude. No fruit, no
Yeah.
carrots, no nothing. And that was a bit extreme for me. But as Anirudh was saying earlier, it really helped his dad. And I've heard from people with diabetes and people
Yeah.
with sugar problems that keto is excellent for them.
It's true. I mean, I know of a few people as well who, because then your body basically switches fuels from glucose to ketones, which are generated from fats in the liver. So I tried the ketogenic diet. I did it for a good 4 5 weeks actually, and I it worked. Like I dropped quite a bit of weight. I noticed in my strength training, like my strength came down a little bit, but I could easily, but I could like last a lot longer through training. That was definitely there. Like I was not getting as sore, but that was also because I wasn't training as hard. But I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy how I was feeling because I felt really acidic in me all the time, and I felt like I was getting an overdose of meat in my diet, which I can't like that. Soon after that, in fact, I gave up eating meat. And I think it's really important to eat a good amount of healthy fat and stuff, which you should do anyway. But any diet which requires you to cut out vegetables doesn't work for me personally. I can't trust that, because then you have to think about where you're getting your micronutrients from, where you're getting all your you have minerals like phosphorus, potassium, calcium. These you need these things, and you need to figure out where else you're going to get them from. So if you go down the ketogenic route, then you have to supplement it with having a whole lot of other things as well. So if you can take care of all of that, it makes sense. And I've seen some people really enjoy the way they feel when they're on the diet as well.
Yeah.
But personally, I couldn't do it. Maybe it's just I couldn't do it. I didn't like how I was feeling on that diet.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
why that answer is very subjective. It's like to each their own, like you can't, there's no one answer that fits everybody. That's why what
exactly.
both of us are saying, you just have to try it and see for yourself if you like it or not.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I was actually when I was in college and when I was like 20, I I could go through monstrous amounts of meat. Like I used to eat a ton of meat, and I used to feel really good. I used to give me a lot of energy and stuff. I find that maybe it's the place, or maybe it's the quality of meat that you're getting and stuff in general. I don't enjoy it. I stopped enjoying it. I stopped feeling that same level of nutrition coming from there. That's why I had to.
Yeah.
Ugh. Anirudh Acharya
Is
says,
that
I
old age,
love rice. Sorry? Is that old
is
age?
that old age catching up? Like our bodies can't handle certain things anymore. When
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
absolutely.
younger.
In the olden days, we had it quite good. But this is an important thing. Like, your body is going to be able to process different foods at different ages very differently.
Yeah.
So, it's something like if it worked for you 5 years ago, that doesn't mean it's going to work for you now. Just don't so be very flexible about it.
Yeah.
So
There's a
keto is
question
a
here that
lifestyle
says,
change. Sorry, yeah, please go ahead. I'm probably skipping a few questions.
yeah, I've scrolled up a bit. Mayuk is
Uh,
asking, can you have a protein shake during intermittent fasting, like during your fasting period? I don't think so.
Absolutely not.
I think you can only have like black coffee and hot
You can have
water.
black coffee without sugar. You can have water, hot, cold. You can have green tea, but some you'll have to check because some green teas have some additives in them. So if you're just drinking herbal green tea with just like tulsi and stuff, you can do that. But no, you can't. You can't have your BCAAs. You can't have glutamine. You can't have protein, milk, almond milk, oat milk. Nothing. Nothing. That's why it's called a
Yeah.
fast. You can't do that. I
Yeah.
mean, you could, then you won't be fasting anymore. Yeah. It's not
Yeah, there's
just
another
sugar.
question about intermittent fasting that says, can you give details about intermittent fasting, as in how to carry it out? I'm a newbie in fitness.
Okay.
Take it away.
So intermittent fasting, it's worked for me. I really, really enjoy doing it because it trains. I mean, I feel great. I don't feel myself depending on food a lot. Otherwise, if people eating, throughout the day, through 12, 14 hours of the day, if they skip one meal, then they get, their mood is affected and they're not able to function. And you know how it is, Urvashi, on set, sometimes like you won't be able to eat as much, or if you're used to having a heavy lunch, but you have like an intense scene right after lunch, you don't want to be sitting like, oh my god, kya biryani khai maine aaj?" You don't want to be in that zone, right? So
Nice and bloated.
intermittent fasting, it really helps people do it. The main reason is that your insulin levels and your growth hormone levels then sort of balance out. So when you're fasting, your growth hormone levels are pretty high, and when that happens, you tend to repair, your body tends to repair and recover from training and stuff a lot faster. You tend to burn more fat as well, which is an important thing. But also, when you are, but also it gives your digestive system a break, which is like every other system in your body, it needs some time off to recover. Otherwise, you're constantly working. You can't constantly work your muscles. Apart from your heart, you can't constantly work anything. So to give that break is also pretty important. So the different types of fasting, there's like the warrior fast, which is 20 hours fasting and 4 hours of eating, which is kind of what I do. But there's also the most common, yeah. That's so.
What is this karva chauth fasting, dude? You wait for the moon to come out and then you eat all.
Every day for me is karva chauth, dude. Seema Tapare, are you listening? Hello, ma'am.
Your future wife is blessed AF.
But it really works for me. I've enjoyed it. But also I haven't like one day suddenly decided to stop eating for 20 hours and come to 4 hours. So you cut down by 1 hour every 3-4 days and see how it works. So what I do is now, I try and eat between 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the afternoon and 8 o'clock at night. So I don't eat anything after that. If you train, it would be much better if you train towards the end of your fasting window, because that's when your growth hormone levels are at the highest and you'll recover a lot faster from your training. Like tissues.
I'm hungry just hearing about this.
Yeah, right. It's pretty intense.
I am the opposite.
Intermittent fasting has a lot of advantages.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm the kind of person who I like graze. I'm like a gazelle. I will just graze a little bit and then graze a little bit later. So I'm a multiple small meals person. So I don't know if I could eat enough within a short window to keep me going for the rest of the time.
Yeah.
But it has helped my mom a lot because she is, I don't know if she's on here. Sorry, mommy. I'm not trying to ruin our family name, but she's a snacker, okay? And she loves snacking. So she used to snack like, till right before she went to bed. And it used to give her a lot of like discomfort in the night. Like, she wouldn't sleep well and things like that. And then now she started doing intermittent fasting, I think for a month now. She doesn't fast for that long. She fasts for, I think, 12 hours. 12 or 14 hours. And it's worked really well for her. Like, it's helped her digestive system a lot, as you said. Like, it gives you the break. And she's lost weight.
Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of people tend to do that. Yeah. It's a really cool thing. I mean, most people do this, who practice intermittent fasting, do the 16 and 8 thing, where you're fasting for 16 hours and say between like 12 o'clock in the evening, 12 o'clock in the afternoon and 8 o'clock at night. That's when you're eating. Yeah, I'll get your question on it one sec. So between 12 and 8, that is your eating window. And that's pretty sustainable because, I mean, then you're pushing your breakfast, down a few hours and pulling your dinner up a few hours. So that's pretty good to start off with. And in any case, I mean, we should be actually eating dinner at like not so late, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I normally sleep for 12 to 14 hours every day. So intermittent fasting is just taken care of,
Yeah, absolutely. Then you're fasting for those 12, 14 hours.
And that's I'm only really awake for 8 hours a day. So it's fine.
I envy you, man. Wow. That's insane.
Listen, you're doing things as in terms of work that I would love to be doing.
Yeah, well,
which requires you to be awake. I'm unemployed.
Technically, even I'm unemployed right now because if you're freelancing, you never know if you're self-employed. Doesn't mean anything. Oh, come on, yeah. That's like the best thing. I'm jobless now. I'm self-employed, bro. Like, your shit in order. No.
She sets her alarm for 12 p.m.
I like how that's an important thing now. Like, I remember when the first few months of this lockdown happened, I was like, 9 o'clock to we get up, aram se. And now I'm awake in the AM and I'm thinking, wow, did I have something to do or something? Why am I up at this time? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, the day just goes on and on and on.
Swear, man. So,
okay, there's a question for you.
Absolutely no carb. Urvashi, you're doing a great job. Okay, intermittent fasting and keto is a lifestyle change. Absolutely, man. I did keto myself for 3 weeks. I'm a veggie. It gave me a headache for the first few days. After that, I eventually gave up because it wasn't practical.
Yeah.
So the headache thing happened to me as well, but that was because of
sugar withdrawal.
Low sodium. That usually tends to happen. Like if
Isn't sugar withdrawal also a thing like that gives you headache?
sugar withdrawal is, caffeine withdrawal also is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, that does tend to happen. I mean, depending on what you've been eating before, what your body is conditioned to what you're doing right now, your body is going to react in different ways. But keto in itself is a very drastic change, so you can expect something to happen.
Yeah.
The only thing you can do is like try and balance it by having salt water, and electrolytes are also really important to have. And Diet Coke, just don't do it, dude. It's trash. Just please. I don't.
That was
It may
a
have.
question, I think, follow-up
Oh,
question
sorry.
for intermittent fasting.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, can
Okay,
you
that's
have it in your
bad.
fasting period?
Sorry. Could you tell me what it was? I can't find it.
So Mayuk was the one who had asked about drinking protein shakes during the intermittent fasting period, which we discussed is not an option. So is Diet Coke an option? No. It doesn't replace black coffee without sugar.
Yeah, it doesn't, because so the thing is that Diet Coke, it has very few calories, but that's in 100 ml, and you will tend to probably have more than 100 ml if you're having it. I highly doubt you're going to be having like 50 ml of Diet Coke and stuff. And also, what are you having it with? So yeah, you could get away with having like a very minute quantity of it, but there's so much crap in that, in so many chemicals in Diet Coke. I'm sorry, man. I also think it's really tasty, but there's so much shit in it that your body is just going to be like, at a time when I'm starved of nutrients, you're giving me Diet Coke. It's just going to reject it at some point in time. So yeah, you could
Yeah,
technically, of course, but probably not a good
I
idea.
heard this podcast about how the long-term effects of having sugar substitutes can like wreck your body because your brain thinks that there's sugar to be processed, and so your body starts trying to process sugar, but there's no actual sugar to process. And so over time, it just like wreaks havoc. I don't remember the details, but it can have some serious long-term effects if you're having sugar substitutes
Yeah,
constantly.
and the other thing that people don't realize about stuff like stevia, erythritol, and what was the other one? There was another, aspartame. So a lot of these, and sucralose. So a lot of these sweeteners, what they do is that they actually really are bad for your gut bacteria, which is which if your gut bacteria is screwed, like then you have a million health problems. Like that's the worst thing that can happen to you. And your mood and your mental health also tends to go for a toss, because your body is your hormonal levels are very closely linked to your gut bacteria. So if you're eating right, and you're eating probiotics and everything, then you'll find that you feel better, you feel in a better mood. Whereas if this wrecks your gut bacteria, then you won't be able to absorb the nutrients from the other food that you're eating. So that can cause a lot of problems. And then what happens is, if you don't absorb nutrients from the food, your body is not able to pull them out. They remain in the body, and they start becoming toxic, which then leads to other problems like gout, arthritis, cancer, a whole lot of other things as well. So yeah,
You
that's
toxic
probably all
by
there in that documentary. I'm addicted to you. Don't you know that you're toxic? Sing that to like an aspartame.
too real, addicted to you, and I know that you're toxic. Me and Diet Coke. Oh my God.
Yeah, Diet Coke, man. Shit. But actually,
All right.
I mean, just go for soda and lime, man, honestly.
Yeah, plain soda and lime is amazing. I recently did
Oh,
plain
not
soda
on a
and
fasting window, because lime will put you out of a fast. If, I mean, even if you squeeze a full lemon, lemons have a little bit of sugar in them, by the way, so it will pull you out of a fast. But yeah, sorry, you were saying.
yeah, no, outside the fasting context, I made my own Fanta. So I just squeezed an orange into soda and it was amazing.
Wow, what?
Yeah.
You made your own Fanta? That's
Yeah, basically it's orange juice with soda, with regular soda, plain soda.
wow.
It's really
I
good. You
wonder
should try
this is
it.
how
It's quite
Fanta was
refreshing.
invented. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I wonder
Yeah,
if this
orange
is how
soda, no?
Fanta was invented. Yeah, exactly. You've seen Keenan
Yeah.
and Kel though. It's like Kel
Who
loves
loves
orange
orange soda?
soda. Nickelodeon, man. Like, yeah,
I
that's
miss
what I
it.
feel. Like, you guys have memes. We had Nickelodeon, dude. We had like
I know, right?
Legends of the Hidden Temple and stuff.
I so badly wanted to be on that show.
I swear it was my dream. I was like, wow, does life change on the show after that? Like, is that what it's like? Like, Is everything different? Do you feel different? It's a reality change.
There was another one, no? Anyway, we're going off topic. There's still a question here for you about a dad who has diabetes.
He's into moderate heavies and please keeps
What
asking
whey
about
supplements?
supplements he should take, because mostly all supplements have a little bit of sugar.
They have
Yeah,
quite a bit of sugar.
they have quite a bit of sugar actually. Yeah, I'm familiar with this. I mean, both my parents are also diabetic, and it's a real fear for me also, because the chances are pretty high. There are a few supplements out there. If you go in for a whey protein isolate, they tend to have no added sugar, but a lot of these will have, sweeteners and stuff. So my recommendation would be to check a few brands. I mean, I've tried My Protein. I've tried which was the other one? Yeah, I think My Protein has an unflavored one. So a good option would be to always go for an unflavored protein, because they don't have sweeteners or added sugar in them at all. And you can add whatever flavor you want to it. But another really crazy option that you can do, which I feel is the best option that I've also started doing, is having something called sattu, which is like an Indian. It's basically gram flour with a few spices in it, and if you add buttermilk to it, I mean, would prefer, it's a little heavy to digest, so you tend to have it in the summers in like during the day and stuff. But that has a very good amount of protein as well. So sattu really helps. Jeera sattu and all. You can check out the recipe online.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about plant proteins. Like, there are people who are like selling packaged plant protein now, right? As a substitute
Yeah.
for whey. So how's the sugar looking on those?
To be honest
You
with
know?
you, I don't eat completely plant based. Like once in a while, I have a whey protein shake, which has come from milk.
Hmm.
So I don't, but I have tried a few plant based proteins like pea protein, soy protein. I haven't really used them long enough to tell if there's a difference. But one thing is for sure, like they don't mix as easily into liquids as the regular proteins. It's like you gotta go shake,
Yeah.
shake, 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 and you're still
I feel
thinking,
like there's
and
an
you're still,
audience somewhere for the 1 hour version of that. Of you just going shake.
yeah, I guess we'll
There
take
is
this
an
conversation
audience.
off Instagram. It's gone somewhere else after 10:30, but never mind. So yeah,
Yeah,
so
we only
so
have
it's
10
worth a
minutes left.
try. Yeah. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. We should probably get through all the other questions pretty
Yes.
quick.
I don't know.
But yeah, I
I
think that's
strolled.
it. Dude, rest is also. Sumit Ahuja says, dude, rest is also important. Not move. You're right, dude. I mean, I'm not saying. I mean, you do have to sit down also at times, for sure. Um, but yeah,
But Advait is the
when I
wrong
say
person to
move,
ask about rest because you never rest, do you?
me, yeah, no, like, yeah,
It's a work
because
in
I like,
progress.
yeah, it's a work in progress. I'm working on it. Like the day I'm able to
Yeah.
sleep 12 to 14 hours uninterrupted, I'll be like, the feeling that I was wondering about of Legends of the Hidden Temple, reality is different now. Everything, I'm
I
not the same man anymore.
The only time I hit like more than 12 hours, so I was exaggerating about the 12 to 14 hours. I normally sleep like 9 hours, which is still quite excessive, but it's not 12 to 14. But there was one time when I had a shoot day the entire day. So I was already on low sleep because shoot day started early and I had shot the previous day also. So I'm already running on very little sleep. Finished the shoot, went to a friend's birthday thing, ended up staying there till my early morning flight. Got to the airport, missed the early morning flight narrowly because of some toll booth changes, something. Then got rebooked to a flight much later in the day. So basically, just sat at the airport, unable to fall asleep. And then finally took the flight, had a connection somewhere, layover, all of that. Then got to the location, then got to my friend's house where I was crashing, and then I just passed out. I think I was awake for a full 36 hours
Yeah, that's
nonstop.
not pleasant. Yeah.
And
It's a
then
very
I
weird move.
slept.
Yeah.
I slept, oh my God. I think I slept for a full 24 hours after that.
As we say, selling the horses and sleeping. Ghode bech ke.
Basically, it was torture. I hope no one ever has to do that ever. 36 hours.
I've got some crazy, weird stories about that. Like, yeah, are gyms open in your cities or not? Amit Varghese, no, dude, no gyms are. But yeah, no gyms. I just supposed to open. I think they were supposed to open today, but I don't know of too many gyms that have opened or anything like that. And I mean, I haven't received a message from my gym or anything. So I think they plan on taking it slowly and stuff. But hey, dude, if you want to work out, like there are like a million gazillion things you can do which don't involve you
Yeah.
going to the gym. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think I should probably do like a workout sometime soon. Have a few people join me and stuff. It's pretty
Yeah.
awesome, man. You know, I realize when I do when I do workouts on Instagram Live, it's
Yeah.
fun. And usually when I would have done like okay 10 enough after that, I'm feeling like no shit. I said I do 12 now. I have to do 12. People are watching me. It's actually
Also,
really
as
good fun.
actors, we thrive on the audience being
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. It's like you
Yeah.
go, you're on stage, you're like, oh yeah, walking. I've just done this great 5 minute, extremely heavy dance routine, and you go in the wings, you're like, it's, it's exactly like
I
that.
love that switch off and switch on, dude. Like you can
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
be in the green room, like, eating chips, and then like you hear your cue and suddenly you're in character.
Suddenly you're like in character. Yeah, yeah. There was this amazing visual that one of my, I was doing somewhere. I remember one of my co-actors told me about this. So, Ram Leela, when they do the Ram Leela in villages and it's a traveling show basically. So what happens is that these guys they play their characters hundreds of times. So they are very well versed with it. Like the minute the curtain rises, Ram is Ram, and Ravan is Ravan, and all those things happen. But the minute the curtain falls down, they're completely like different. So what happened once is that they were doing a show in this village where where they finished the show and everyone was on stage and the curtain came down and the lights went out. The lights like completely gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens is that they raised the curtain and then the generator came back on. So for a second, like all the lights were on stage, and everyone, Ram and Sita were chilling with a BD over there on stage. It was quite bizarre to have those characters over there. The entire audience who had just seen this magnum opus play out in front of their eyes, like Sita बैठ के BD पी रही है side पे. It's ridiculous. But I've been fascinated by visuals like that, man.
Oh my
Anyway,
God. This is
completely off topic, but yeah.
yeah. Ankit is laughing at me because Ankit Vazana is laughing at me because I sleep a lot. And he knows that I sleep for 22 hours a day. I don't appreciate being laughed at, Ankit. Anyway.
Yeah. Hey, there was a
But
question. I remember before the session broke in the middle, before Airtel decided to do KLPD, there was this question on HIIT, and someone had asked it basically.
yes.
Do you
Wait,
want
before
to
that,
talk
very
about it?
quickly, I will just say that gyms in Bangalore are open. So
Oh, really?
to answer the question, yeah, for Bangalore.
Are you planning on going anytime soon, though?
I don't know because my home workouts are working out pretty well. So I don't know if I want to, fix something that's not broken. I think I'll just let it be for now
Yeah, I'm
and
on the
reduce my
verge of
cholesterol.
convincing people around me if I can like deadlift them. I'm getting to that point in my life right now. So I might just go and do a couple of deadlifts like if they open. But probably not though. I think
I
it's
have totally seen my friends post videos of them like curling small children, just like a 3-year-old, like bicep curling them.
I was just going to ask, can I rent them? But that's so bad.
That's otherwise no. As a grown man, you cannot ask anybody if you can rent their children. Please.
Simply super. Hey, my cousin's back, Soraya. Hi, Soraya. It's good to have you. Keenan and Kel, Legends of the Hidden Temple, Figure It Out, such cool shows. Man, us 90s kids had it good, man. We didn't have memes, but we
We
had all
really
this stuff.
did. We
Okay,
really
Amit
did.
has another question which has just come in. We're going to just take just wrap up quickly after
Yeah.
this, I guess. Do you both practice yoga? Is it really effective lifting versus yoga? Which is better? Because yoga practice people usually claim they can control body weight performing yogic exercises. Do you want to go for this one?
I have very minimal experience with yoga. I have done it a little bit, but I don't practice it regularly enough to be able to answer that. But there was one time, this is a slight side note, that I did a yoga class in America and it made me want to stab myself in the eye. But that's a topic for another time.
That's because it was yoga that you were
It was
practicing.
yoga, and we were playing Coldplay, and like Karen, the instructor, was telling me to do the downward dog, and I kind of wanted to end my own life. But back to you.
Yeah, do I do once in a while. I think it's really good to basically supplement whatever you're doing with different activities. Whether it's so basically, I keep saying the 5 pillars of fitness: that's strength, stamina, power, flexibility, speed. So yoga helps with balance and flexibility a lot, and you learn to control your body weight beautifully. And also there is like, it's not just about flexibility and posing and the physical part of it. You find that, what, when you're training, if you've ever lifted weights, people keep talking about mind body connection and mind muscle connection and all, which is nothing but you being conscious about the way you move and the way you um, go into a pose, and just being controlling of your breath and your entire body. So I mean, it's really, I enjoy workouts a lot of the time when I'm just listening to like hardcore music and just pumping weights, but at the same time it's nice to kind of get all of that out of the way and just work with your body. I don't think of lifting versus yoga so much as lifting and yoga.
Yeah, that's
Keep
what
doing
I've heard.
both of those things. Yeah, like you don't have to have a camp of this or that. You should actually ideally do both those things:
Yeah,
architecture
and I've
and
heard that
yoga.
yoga really helps with lifting, because a lot of like a problem that people who lift have is that their flexibility drops, especially if you get like
Yeah,
really big and bulky. So yoga helps counter that. So it's a great combination. I mean, also a lot
yeah.
of the warm-up exercises that people do, like for HIIT, for weightlifting that I used to do, all have roots in yoga and different asanas.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the warrior pose becomes, for your hip flexors and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So basically all these movements have some kind of genesis um in yoga, basically. That's what it
yeah.
is. So yeah,
There
that's
was
all
another
good
question
question.
about HIIT you said?
Yeah, so HIIT, huh? And of course, someone said in the middle, it's not just move, move, move. Sumit Ahuja, yeah, yeah. Yeah, dude, like I totally get it. So what HIIT is, for those who don't know, is high intensity interval training, which is fun, which is super cool fun, because you have like bursts of activity followed by some rest and stuff. Uh, and I keep saying move, not that you have to. Hey, Hemanji. So you remember I told you about the person who told me about this site of Ram Leela? That's Hemanji. He's a fabulous actor. I've learned so much from him. Jugnu, my favorite. Anyway, yeah. So I was saying, what was I saying? I was talking about moving and staying,
Yeah,
in
HIIT, yeah.
motion. Yeah, it's not just about training hard all the time. It's you have to just keep the blood flowing in your body, which doesn't happen if you're just sitting in one place. So even if you're standing up, just stretching out, yawning, stretching, that's also like a huge part of it. That helps a lot.
Yeah.
That's helps with the mood a lot. When you begin your diet, we eat less than the usual amount, obviously. So is it normal that you end up having bloating problems? Will it reduce gradually? Oh, this is a very personal question, I feel, for you, Ash, Ishu
Depends
44.
on you, yeah.
It depends on,
Ash also, sorry, go ahead.
it depends on what kind of foods you're eating. Some foods do cause a lot of bloating in some individuals as well. It depends on what you have been eating, what you're used to eating, and when you're eating it as well. So if you're going through any kind of drastic, first, I don't think you should have like a super drastic change in your diet immediately. You should kind of taper it off, um, gradually get into whatever you're doing, so your body doesn't like react so badly. But yes, eventually the body will find a way to adjust and find a new
Yeah.
equilibrium. So that's what it is.
Yeah. Also, like there are different foods that will retain water weight, like salt and sugar. So if you cut that, if you reduce that, your bloating might go away. And the other thing is you have to check where in your period cycle you are. So if you're just before your period start, like if you're in those, 5 days before your periods, you will start bloating a little bit and you will be retaining more water. But as soon as your period ends, you will drop again. So just check that as well, because that's something I've noticed. My weight
Mm.
will slowly go up even if I'm doing the same workout, same nutrition. It'll go up a little bit till the period starts, and then by day 4 it will drop again and will go back to what it used to be. So just look into that as well.
Yeah, Yeah, I've noticed in general also, as a rule, depending on when women are in their cycle, on the whole, women tend to retain a little bit more water than men, of a similar build and stuff as well. So, like the water weight that you hold in your body as a woman will be higher than a similar sized man. So that is, yeah, that's definitely something to keep in mind. And the one of the first reactions of the body when you shock it into, you know, some dietary change and stuff, is for it to retain water quite a bit. So that might be, you know, one of those things, one of the reasons. I am
Yeah.
lactose intolerant. What all supplements should I take to digest milk? Okay, yeah, so there's one video that I actually saw that really helped me understand how we can process milk, and that's by this YouTuber called FitTuber. So just check out. He gives you the Ayurvedic science of how you can digest milk. People who think that, you know, you're lactose intolerant and you can't process milk should definitely go ahead and watch that video, because there are certain times in the day to have milk, and milk by itself is a complete meal. So, you know, don't have it with like fruit and a milkshake or a banana shake or anything. Just have it on its own. But definitely go and check out his channel. He speaks a lot about what milk to get as well. And if you are, like, even after trying all that, you aren't able to digest milk, then you can always like just have almond milk, oat milk, soy milk, whatever works for you. You know, personal
Yeah, and
preference.
plant-based supplements, yeah, for
Yeah.
protein and stuff. I'm going to answer the previous question actually, because I think that's something I struggle with. I
Yeah.
want to ask something about how to be strict to exercise. I mean, after some time, I give up. That's something I've struggled with a lot. And in this case, I think if you have like as few as one accountability partner, it really, really helps. So, like as Advait was talking about, like he does these live workouts on Instagram. You could literally just join that. So you know that there's one other person who's doing the exact same movements that you are doing. So that really, really helps push you. And then there are these online classes also that you can do, which are happening over Zoom and Google Meet and Instagram and everywhere else. So you can try and join those, or you can even have just like one friend that you're checking in with once a day and say, you know, like I did whatever 5 exercises I was supposed to do.
Mm.
And then, you know, unknowingly, if you don't do it and you have to text your friend and say, I didn't do the thing that I said I was going to do, it does like prick your conscience a little bit and does push you a little bit further. So I've done a lot of trial and error in terms of keeping up the discipline. That being said, you will have days when you just don't want to do anything. So even if you're hitting like 4 times a week, that's still good. It's still better than 0 times a week.
Yeah.
So you can find a balance.
And also, I guess, find something that you like doing, that you will, you know, get some variety into it. Like if you're just hitting the gym every day or just going running every day, you are going to get bored of it, you know. So figure out a way that, you know, have a backup plan that, okay, on a day I don't feel like running, I can maybe do this. Or, you know, just if you're feeling tired, just really, really run down. Just stretch out. Just do a bit of a warm up, and just do 20 minutes of stretching every muscle in your body, and you will feel so much better after that. So much better. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
We are actually
Um,
past 11. So,
there's
oh,
just
wait, we have
one
one more
last
question.
question. Yeah, question for you both. One favorite food you are missing just because of the lockdown or due to current situation in Bangalore? Hmm.
I really miss beer that's straight from a tap, you know, like from the keg directly.
Yeah.
Fresh poured, fresh brewed beer.
When it's put
That's
in
what I
front of you and it's still coming out the sides, and you have to kind of just about hold it. Yeah, yeah, I get that. But I think I pretty much learned to cook everything. Like I've been making pizzas and stuff also at home. So yeah, I've refused to accept this. I'm a very different person. I've accepted the situation. Like I can't survive without pizza. I better bloody make it. You know. So yeah, but I miss ice cream. I used to really like eating ice cream. I still do, but I haven't done that for a long time. So yeah,
just have
stop
this
making me
mental
hungry, guys. I'm like 5 hours into my fasting window. Please don't do this to me.
I just have this mental image of like super buff, super fit Advait Kottary, like
Yeah,
looking all muscular AF with like a tiny little cup with like a tiny little scoop of vanilla ice cream, just like
yeah. Can I get like strawberry and cream and stuff?
little
Yeah,
sprinkles
that's
on it.
The rainbow sprinkles. The no ice cream is completely
Yeah,
that. The choco chips and the rainbow sprinkles.
the
Yeah.
juxtaposition is real.
That it is real. So the next time I'm gonna upload this picture. I think the next time I'm able to do that, I
Yes,
will
please.
definitely upload it.
Please, like just like post workout when you're like pumped AF. Yeah,
And
make
most
it
people
happen.
be running for like their protein shake right before they run out of breath. Like, oh, I got a protein shake. Like, can I get
And then you
rainbow
did it.
sprinkles with that?
So sweet.
Yeah. Seema, auntie, are you listening?
I was gonna say, dude, like you can make pizza on your own. You're a fitness nerd,
Yeah.
actor. Hello, Seema auntie. Where are you?
Hello, Seema auntie, are you listening? Yeah. That's
I
an
love it.
entirely awesome conversation for a different time. But you remember you spoke about this also in one
Yes,
of your live sessions, right? Yeah, I
yeah.
really thoroughly enjoyed that one.
It
So
was
yeah.
what a show, dude. That's a conversation for another time, I think.
Yeah,
We
should.
can. We
But
can
yeah,
totally do. I would love to get the male perspective on Indian matchmaking. Let's do that next week.
let's actually do that. Yeah, let's do that. Which
Yeah.
means I'll actually have to watch Indian matchmaking this week, which I'll get to then.
You haven't watched it?
Guys, we're running out of time.
Okay, please watch it. And because I do want to get the male perspective, because I've only talked to girls about it. And obviously,
Yeah.
all of us agree on the same things, which is that, oh, women are always expected to adjust, la, 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 like that. Feminism around arranged marriage has been discussed, like that, it's been done. So I do want to get a different take on it. So please watch it.
Let's do it. It'll be interesting. It'll be an
And we
interesting
talk
week for
about,
me, I suspect. Yeah.
we'll talk. It won't take
We'll
you a
talk
week.
about it.
It will take you like 1.5 binge sessions.
Yeah, I'm
And
sure. My sister
only 8
binge
episodes.
curfew. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I want to talk about masculinity in the context of relationships and expectations.
Let's do that. Let's do that next time. So yeah. Next week, same time, same
I will
place, guys.
as Seema auntie and come.
As Seema auntie, we'll wait for Seema auntie to come and join us. But yeah, but this was awesome fun. Thank you so much for joining me again this
Yes.
week. Thank you guys, all of you, for throwing in your questions. This was a great conversation. We can
Yes.
definitely keep doing this. And next week we have a very different but a very interesting topic. So yeah, I'll see you all soon. Lots of love to Bangalore from Mumbai. Signing
And
off.
thank you, Advait, for all your knowledge and for all your wisdom.
I
We
just
appreciate it.
have a lot of time on my hands. guys. So I'm bored.
But you're paying it forward. We appreciate that.
Yeah, true that.
All right. So
I'll
this
see
will
you
be
guys. Good
available
night.
on my channel, on my page, whatever. And you can
Yeah.
view it there. Thanks, Advait.
Bye.
Good night. Okay, thank you all. I will be putting this on my profile, so you will be able to find it there. Sorry, the beginning part did not fully work because my phone just disconnected itself at some point. But it will start from wherever this last hour almost has started. So that will be available for you to watch or send to your friends or save or whatever you want to do with it. And yes, thank you all. Good night if you're in a time zone that requires you to go to sleep now. And have a good time. And I will talk to you all next week with Advait again. Bye.